Welcome back, friends and family. We're here today with another banger. As always, it's going to be a leg day. Now, real quick, before we get started, I want to give a quick update. I have been messing up, hanging out with the wrong crowd, Lenny, and yeah, even eat some Taco Bell. But the point is, I actually gained about like 1.5 pounds. It's not horrible because at the end of the day, you need to understand that when you're doing a weight loss journey, it's not always going to be all the way down. Sometimes you're going to gain a little bit of weight or it's going to fluctuate. What really matters is that you're monitoring it. And if you're messing up, you catch yourself and you correct it while you can before it gets too late, and we're gonna wrap it up and get back on track. So for today's leg day, we're gonna hit the Smith machines, we're gonna do some squats, then we're gonna do some leg extensions, and for the hamstrings, we're gonna do some leg curls supersetted with some stiff-legged deadlifts using the dumbbells, and then we're gonna end it with some calf raises. All right, guys, let's get it. Okay, we just did our 2 sets with the squats and my quads are absolutely smashed. Now, funny enough, out of all people, I was talking to Lenny about this exercise and we know he doesn't actually work out. He was actually getting some advice from a friend who was telling him that when you squat, you wanna make sure your knees go over the toes. Although that's true, that isn't something you should be going for because then you might mess up your movements or you might tweak something trying to force it. What you should ideally do is try to go as low as possible, and naturally, just because of how the body works, your knees are gonna end up over your toes. So as a cue, just focus on going as low as possible. I was actually looking at videos of like Chris Bumstead and Mike Israetel squatting, and what I noticed is when they squat, their hamstring and their calves will touch from how low they go, and it can't physically go any lower. So that was kind of my own cue as I did these. I was trying to go as low as possible and make sure my hamstrings and calves touched at the end. And since we're already here on the Smith machine, I got it set up. I used a little part of my rack, so we're gonna do 2 sets of calf raises, high reps. All right, guys, let's get it. We just finished our 2 sets with the calf raises, and we also added a little bit extra weight. And the reason being is for some reason the calf muscles, they could just take a huge beating and it's all good. Another thing you might have noticed is I was pausing at the bottom. For some reason, a lot of people, when they do calf raises, they think they need to hold it at the top. Well, the truth is you need to hold it where the muscle is most lengthened, which is actually at the bottom. So up next, we're gonna do 2 sets on the leg extensions, and I'm gonna use my drop set pin that pops out in the middle of the set just to get as close to failure as possible. And we're gonna do as many reps as possible on both times. So it's gonna be a total of really 4 sets, but we're doing 2 because we're doing a drop set with each one. All right, guys, let's get it. All right, we just finished the leg extensions with the yoga blocks, and let me tell you, I am completely wiped. It's one of those workouts where you could tell I'm gonna have trouble walking for the next few days. I was able to do the 2 sets, no problem, and on top of that, we went real close with failure, and at the end, we did some lengthened partials. Up next, we're gonna do a superset with the lying hamstring curls and the stiff-legged deadlifts with dumbbells. So all right, guys, let's get it. All right, that just about does it for today's workout, and my legs are smashed. Now, real quick, before we end the video, as always, we got the shout outs. All right, so for today's shout out, we got one from Richard Nunez. He says, "What is this 2 sets bullshit? I take more shits than you take sets, little guy. Also, weak intro, but it's to be expected from someone who only does 2 sets. Now, since you like the number 2 so much, I'll give you 2 things you do better than me, and that's eat chicken nuggets and being small. Shut up, little guy. I actually know who you are. You better relax with that." The thing is, guys, he just started lifting, so he's probably counting his warm-up sets as real sets, which I don't even show on camera because they obviously don't count. But for someone as small as him, probably doing just the bar is a full set. So another shout out I got is from Call Me Lulu, and he said, "Remember that one time you asked me to spot you when you were doing 225? I was doing 90% of the effort on that lift. You're like Adrian who thinks he could overhead press 250. I'm the biggest alive, friends and family." Now, first of all, we've never worked out together. And secondly, yeah, Adrian can't lift 250, not even 200. He's a freaking liar, and we all know that. But the good thing is I'm recording all my workouts, so whatever I I say I do, I back it up. And it's kind of funny you're writing all that when you literally have a profile picture and we could all tell you're allergic to making money and getting big. So don't even go there. It's kind of embarrassing, to be honest. Now, as always, I like to end the videos on a little bit of a positive note. I know a lot of people that want to change their life and get into their fitness goals, but they're like, oh, it's almost New Year's because we're in December. I'll start as soon as New Year's hit and I'll maybe sign up to Planet Fitness. I'm like, listen, relax. At the end of the day, you need to start whatever you want to do, whatever goal it is. You need to start it today. Right now, as you're watching this video, start doing something. And as always, I know it sounds corny, but there wouldn't be anything in the world that I would appreciate more. And if you guys subscribe, so in the next video, I could welcome you to my friends and family gang. Thanks for watching.